We're having fun.
We're live. Let us know if you see us, if you've got the notification yet. This has been probably the most eventful live at 9 pre-service.
I love Google. I love Restream.
I don't know.
I love Ecamm.
I'm not even sure I love anything. I think the camera is crooked, and I at this point I don't even care.
Well,
I don't even care.
We finally got the camera to attach to the computer, so we're halfway.
You know what? Yeah, it might be crooked. I don't even care tonight. It's beyond the realm of my.
Did you give me a tea?
No, and I didn't bring anything except my phone. So I have nothing. Nothing is working. It is the craziest thing. The camera won't hook up. And here's the thing, guys. I just want to let you in on a little secret. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go live from your computer. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. We're going live. We're checking in. Seeing how you had a good Thanksgiving. That's not how you like to go. You're not like that. And that's okay. Cause everybody's different. So in the comments, I just want to know, are you an improviser, or does it have to go a certain way? Or you get really yeah.
I expect things to work. And when nothing has changed on our end and they don't work, then that frustrates me.
I know.
And then Melissa tries to help.
I know, and I don't help the way that he thinks I should help.
Even Marla is over here consoling. I think she's trying to console me.
Well, I don't know who she's trying to console. Anyway, we don't have any music tonight. We have...
For the record.
We have no videos.
I think Melissa and I are done flying.
I think we are. So, we flew, and I'm done. I can't even do it anymore.
My work briefcase is completely destroyed because of security. And I can't find my flash drives. I can't find anything. So, yeah.
Okay, so a couple people have chimed in on this. Megan says, I'm not that good at improvising. I don't think, but if I need to improvise, I can. So you don't think that you're good at it, but if you have to, you can do it. So does it stress you out to have to improvise? That's the thing. Me, I'm kind of one of those people that I'm like, improvise? It's not going to go to plan? Well, this is what we're going to do then. And in my mind, it went from being plan Z to plan A, and all is well. It's all good. Very rarely. Now, I've had some times, though, since we've been married, that my improvising didn't quite go the way that I thought it should go. Anyway, let's see. Tony says it has to be a certain way or the anxiety kicks in.
This is Melissa's night to be sarcastic towards me. So we're going to let her have her 3 or 4 minutes of fun.
Yes. How many other minutes have you had at my expense?
That's why I'm letting you have 3 or 4 minutes in the sun.
Okay.
And then it's going to flip. It's going to flip. And it's going to...
Yeah, so if you're just joining us, we don't have any music tonight. We don't have any graphics.
I don't even know if I have my flash drives. They're probably stuck in a Tampa airport.
Oh, no. Yeah, there we go. Let's see.
We did not enjoy that whole process. Having to pack and not knowing what to take and not knowing what to expect and wearing a mask for hours on end.
You know what? I did okay with the mask thing. I did okay.
You did better than I expected. You did not say anything after you told the person in St. Louis what you thought about it.
But I didn't really say about that. It was more of taking everything out of my bag. But you know what? At the Tampa airport, we didn't have to take everything out of our bag. It was great. It was wonderful.
Megan said you deserve the whole hour to be sarcastic. Melissa does not have that.
Yes.
I mean, she does, but not in front of people. She'll be that way privately. I, on the other hand, am just real and raw no matter what.
No.
Some people protect their image.
Oh, that would be me protecting. Okay, I'm going to leave that sentence unfinished. There we go.
No, I finished it. Some people protect their image.
So wrong.
And then they gaslight other people to think that it's their...
Boy, we have really went down a road tonight. All because we couldn't get the computer. And it wasn't so much the computer tonight. It was the camera tonight.
So my personality
it's cricket and we don't even care.
My personality is now, tonight, I will not go to bed
until
I find my flash drives. Until I find my flash drives.
He told me to
this camera will be working before the night is over. And
me, I'm going to bed, folks.
So last night, I didn't feel well. And got home. Melissa said, just take all the time you need. Just relax.
Well, tell him I didn't feel well.
And
didn't
rest.
Sleep the whole week.
Anyhow. She comes into the room, which is the only room in the house that I have had any say-so whatsoever.
See, so this is his personality coming out.
Somebody's trying to protect their image already.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
No. I'm not protecting your image.
So, I'm in the chair. I'm very warm-blooded. I have my Ugg slippers on. I have Ugg pajamas on and a blanket. And I'm wrapped up like this in the chair. And she goes, I think this room would look better.
I'm thinking about changing this room around. Get the story right.
All right, so I'm thinking about it, which is code in this house for this needs to be done.
No, that's code for I'm thinking about it because I'm not sure if it's going to work. I'm not sure if I'm going to want this. I just need to map it out on paper. A few minutes later, he comes in the bedroom. Hey, come see if this is what you want. He's moved the entire room around. That's not what I said to do. That's what he heard.
Every man on the other side of this camera
anyone in your life
knows
like that?
exactly what it means when the wife says, I was thinking.
Well, that's okay. I can think all day long.
While I'm sitting in the chair with my feet
Tomorrow,
up.
I may be like, you know what? I thought about that.
Guilt.
And that's not what I want.
Guilt is being just laid on me that I was watching a football game.
Oh, my goodness.
With my feet up and not feeling well, freezing, but I got to move furniture around. Oh, my goodness.
Number one, you make it sound like you're sick, and you're not. Number two, you know what?
I didn't say I was sick. I said I wasn't feeling well.
I don't care that you're watching football. I'd rather you watch that without me. I can't deal with all the, oh, man. What were you thinking? I can't watch this. Oh, they're going to get beat. What were they thinking?
Well,
See, I'd rather go in the bedroom, enjoy and relax and unwind.
Last night was like watching David let Goliath get away.
Oh.
Come on, Auburn.
Well, there's something about a roll tide. I don't know what that is. Anyway.
I don't know. So anyway.
Being proactive.
The
Josh,
room,
don't feed into this.
The room is moved.
Don't feed into this.
It's completely moved around. The desk, the TV, the furniture. I knew it was coming because there was a whole conversation that started in Florida with their parents about a certain piece of furniture that we have that is a family like heirloom or whatever. And Melissa began to pave the way with her mom and dad that this piece of furniture...
This is really getting deep in the comments,
that this piece of furniture was going to be moving on down the road. So it was already there, and then we get home, and she says, this is the piece of furniture that I was really talking about, which happened to be the piece of furniture that the only TV that is inside of this entire house...
Oh, that is true.
...is on.
No, wait a minute. There's a TV in one of the rooms, but it doesn't work.
There's a TV in another room in this house?
Yeah, isn't there one in Zoe's room?
Not that I'm aware of.
That sits on a dresser? That's right. You probably don't go in there because you can't get the door open. Because there's stuff all over the floor. Because she's a teenager. Anyway. Oh, somebody asked. You know, I take umbrage with this, but I'm going to let you have it.
What does umbrage mean?
I don't even know. Sounding great right now. Somebody asked.
I love you so much. As Brian Choate told me today, you're my gift.
I'm the gift
and I said, and she is the gift that keeps on taking.
Okay, so the story about the mall.
Okay.
So did you leave the story of the mall to us at Live at 9?
No, all I said was,
because you have to understand on Sundays, sometimes I don't hear everything because I'm having family time or
she heard a lot of the preachers today. Normally on Sunday, she never hears the preacher.
Oh, my.
So, anyhow.
No, it's because I've heard the message throughout the week. and
now that you might be stretching that truth just a hair.
I don't stretch anything.
I think that's a hair short of glory.
Hold on.
Anyway, that's an inside joke. We're going to keep moving.
Okay, so the mall story. Okay.
So the mall story.
I'm with you, Clint. Me neither. And then they go to the store and they want to buy more. I'm thinking, you don't need to buy more. Just hang up the ones that are on your floor. You might find you have a whole new wardrobe.
I forgot to bring Zoe to church today.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So I have to tell this story. I have to.
All right, go ahead.
So I get up early this morning. He sleeps in because he's not preaching today. So,
Bill James, brother, good to see you out of surgery.
It's one of those, it's one of those situations where when you're not preaching, on kind of a serious note, when you're not preaching, it's kind of one of those days you get to sleep in a little bit and kind of relax. And so he slept in just a little bit, and I said, "Hey, babe, I don't know what time I have to be there this morning. I think it's 7:45, but sometimes we have call time at 7:30."
This conversation was happening at like 5:45 or 6 o'clock this morning.
And I said, "I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get dressed and I'm gonna go ahead to the church." And he's like, "Oh, okay, awesome, no problem." So I leave and I get to the church, and it was a 7:45 call time. I was good. And so he comes later, no big deal. It wasn't until the 11 o'clock service that someone asked me if Zoe was at church. And I said, probably, I don't know where. She might be serving kids. She might be in her dad's office. I don't know where she is. She might be in the sanctuary. Who knows? Or the auditorium, whatever you want to call it. And they were like, the other girl goes, "Oh, no, she's at home." And I said, "Oh, well, I'm headed downstairs to go sing at the end of the 11 o'clock service." And I said, "Oh." And I said, "Well, maybe she stayed home today. We had to get up super early yesterday morning. She has a lot of homework she wants to catch up on, get ahead on. Maybe your dad just let her stay home. Like I don't know. We never do that, but maybe today he changed his mind. I don't know." And so 1 o'clock came, whatever. And after the 1 o'clock, I called her and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna come get you for visual arts practice tonight." She said, "Okay." So I get to the house, I pick her up, we get in the car, and I said, "So," as I'm backing out of the driveway, "So, did you get a lot of homework done today? Did that?" She goes, "No." And I said, "Oh." I said, "Well, I thought that's why you stayed home." She goes, "Well, I stayed home because this morning I heard Dad's music, so I hurried up and I got dressed real quickly and stuff because I knew that I had to hurry." She said, "And I thought Dad would call my name." She said, "And then I hear the door close and the door never opened. And then I go to the door and the garage door is closing. So I thought, oh, okay, Miss Allegra must be picking me up later. That'll be all right." She said, "And the 11 o'clock came and nobody came." And she said, "And after the 1 o'clock started, I realized Miss Allegra's not coming to get me. Nobody's coming to get me. I guess I'll just play with the dogs." So it was right before the 1 o'clock service. He goes, I was standing down there thinking, I think I left Zoe at home.
Harold, I think it was right as Harold was getting ready to preach. I was like, I don't think I brought Zoe. I know I didn't bring her, but Melissa didn't bring her.
Yeah. What happened at the mall? Okay. So I will tell you what happened at the mall. Because it involved me and Morgan. So anyway.
I think I'm going to go make me a tea because this is going to be good.
I don't know. I'm not good at telling stories tonight. No, what happened at the mall?
Oh, you've been telling some stories tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What happened at the mall? Okay, so it was Friday, Black Friday shopping. We didn't realize. We totally forgot. Yeah, it was
not an intentional Black Friday shopping.
Oh, no.
We intentionally avoid that.
Yeah. We went to a restaurant called Frenchie's in Clearwater. If you've ever been to Frenchie's, raise your hand in the comments. Amazing seafood
You've never
restaurant.
Been? Put it on your to-do list.
Yeah. And so we go there.
But invite us.
Morgan ordered like a smoothie drink or whatever. And she's sitting there and she'd taken off the lid of the drink. And somehow her arm bumped the straw trying to get a stone crab. That makes
the
me
version that was told to
hungry.
me when you walked away was, Mom made me nervous with that stone crab claw.
Oh, that's what it was. See? No matter what, I get the blame. Does anybody
I
else
was on the
feel
opposite
me on
end
that?
of the table.
So anyway, she dumped the drink all over her. And her exact words, I said, why didn't you move out of the way? Because it went all down the table, all on her Nike pants, all into her Birkenstocks, her leather Birkenstocks. And she only owns like one or two pairs of those, like one pair. I mean, she doesn't wear them hardly at all. I don't know why she was going to wear them on the plane, but that's what she chose. And I said, why didn't you move out of the way? She goes, because I thought I could catch it. I said, you thought you could catch a drink? Are you kidding? Anyway, so we went to the mall to buy new shoes.
Yeah, we had to get her new shoes because
we felt bad.
We had to take her directly to the airport after that, though. That was the plan, so we weren't able to go back to my in-laws, all those things.
Yeah.
So we went to the mall.
Yep.
Which was 2 miles from the airport.
Yep.
We've been to the mall a lot.
Yep.
And you can pick it up from there.
Oh, so I'm walking, and I'm walking with Morgan. Jason's ahead of us, and I'm just walking. And to be honest, there's a store that I've never been in, but it's a really popular name
That's
brand.
a miracle. You just heard a miracle. There is a store that Melissa has never been in.
I know. It's an act of God. Anyway, and I don't know that I'll ever go in this store now. So anyway, I was really focused on the store. They had one of those stanchions up, and you had to wear a mask in that store. And
yeah, they were taking COVID seriously there.
Well, and it's a limited number of people in there. It's a designer store, so there we are. So anyway, I'm walking, and I get distracted as I'm walking. Morgan is beside me.
Imagine this.
And I get distracted looking in the store. Well, I didn't see this young girl who later I found out was on her phone, and she was in her late teens, early 20s, and she cuts in front of me, which I didn't realize she had cut in front of me. I thought she was coming at me, and I missed her, and I thought, oh my goodness, how in the world? She was taller than I was, everything. And so, when I almost ran into her, I went, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, excuse me. And she didn't say anything, kind of gave me a little bit of a look, but didn't say anything. So I thought, okay. She got all the way to the entrance of the store, which I'm past now, and turns around and loudly and very rudely was like, excuse you. And I'm like, I know that girl ain't talking to me. She must be talking to someone else. Well, Morgan turned around. I turned around too, but I was speechless, which is a miracle, number 2. And so anyway, I was like, whoa. And she was talking to us. And Morgan's like, hey, there's no need for that kind of attitude. And that little girl was like, exactly what she did to me.
Do that again.
I was like, what? Whoa. I ain't never in my life. Ever in my life.
And Morgan had a little bit of South Bend in her.
Morgan goes.
And Morgan dropped. And Morgan dropped and squared.
And
if you know what that means, you grew up like we did.
I dug my nails in her arm and I said, we're not doing that here. Keep walking. Well, that was miracle number 3.
I started heading back because I was going to, I don't know, I was going to spectate or something. I was like, whoa.
I was so dumbfounded. People were interesting.
First of all, whatever happened to walking on the right side? We were walking on the right side.
Well,
And, we were all up against the wall, basically.
Anyway, what on earth? I know. I was like.
Morgan's like, ain't nobody talking to my mother. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Well, I was dumbfounded. And I think, I told someone today, I was like, if she wanted to say excuse you or whatever, that's fine. If you want to give me attitude, go ahead. Ain't like it's the first time I heard it. Ain't like it's I haven't given it a few times.
She lives with me. It ain't going to be the last time.
But for you to give a little, you know what?
Then Morgan
Someone
began to
somewhere.
describe her. Morgan's like, you are a rich, entitled.
Yeah, he was going to pray for him. That's right, Daryl.
There's going to be some laying hands on him. I got a little. Listen, I'm in the kingdom, but we're from the south side of the kingdom.
What's that other shirt? I think Harold has one. It says half hood, half holy.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great.
Half hood, half holy.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting though. Like, I think this is really the first time you've been out, like really, really been out in society.
Well, I've been in Tennessee.
Yeah, but that's not.
I have been in Florida before, and I have been. I was in the Orlando Mall. I mean, this wasn't the first time I've been in a mall. I've been in a mall in St. Louis, Nashville. Wisconsin didn't have a mall.
It was funny because Pastor Michael and I were talking about this.
Alabama, I've been in a mall.
We were talking about this morning about, this story. I was telling him the story in his ear, while everybody else was being spiritual. I was telling Pastor Michael, and I said, a friend of ours or an acquaintance of ours was telling the story about the difference between a Church of God position and an Assembly of God position when it comes to sanctification. And the Church of God believes that, it's like it's instantaneous and it happens and, you go on. And the Assembly of God believes it's progressive like this. And so somebody asked the guy, said, well, which are you? Are you, Church of God or are you Assembly of God? And he's like, well, I believe that, that it's instantaneous most of the time. But then every now and then when somebody cuts me off on the freeway, I realize that I'm more Assembly of God than I am Church of God. And so,
it's a daily process.
It's just a daily process. And so I leaned over to Pastor Michael and I said, Melissa and Morgan were more Assembly of God than they realized.
I was so proud of myself. I wanted to turn around to that sweet little girl, and I say sweet with the sweetest drip of, I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to say to her, honey, I'm going to act like your parents don't know how you act when you're not with them.
To which I said, her parents act that way.
He said, her parents probably act that way. I was like, oh, she got away with that kind of behavior. And so, yeah.
Well,
it's one of those things.
I actually said to her, you're not on Facebook, right? Like, you're now in an opportunity for somebody to retaliate for that attitude.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I guess it would have been one thing. I guess what caught me off guard is, I've been in those designer stores before, and every time I've been in there, every time I've been in a designer store, I can count maybe, one or two fingers on one hand how many times I've had a negative experience, and Marlo's wanting to play. A negative experience with people inside the store. This was just like a whole new level. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Marlo's taking
up.
Wow.
Okay.
Marlo's now taking up for her mother.
Okay. All right. How y'all doing today? Y'all doing well? I was a little warm before. I'm going to be super hot by the time this program's over tonight. Anyway.
The dogs have missed us.
Yes.
And they're everywhere with us right now.
Yeah. Tanya, you're right. That'd been a great opportunity to use. Well, bless your pretty little heart. But I didn't. I'm so proud of myself. I was speechless. Folks, that was a miracle. Because I have to tell you, I don't know that I would have been speechless before. But the Lord has got a hold of me. And He's changed my life. He's changed the way I talk. Come on, somebody. Now,
She just now reverted out of the Assembly of God back to the Church of God.
That's right, man. I need a little organ cue. Don't you know He saved my soul? Don't you know He cleaned up my speech? He's still working on me every once.
This is how Marlo looks 98% of the time, by the way. Always with a ball in her mouth.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, the Holy Spirit covers my mouth a lot and deletes my comments. So I agree with you.
That's the mall story. And it was interesting.
Yeah, that's the mall story. Oh, wow. Okay, there's a whole lot of love on this.
Holy Ghost hand's going to throw.
Yeah, that's right. I was almost like, wow. Have you ever just been in a situation where you're speechless? When you're like, I can't believe they acted like that. Like, you're just dumbfounded. You were in the airport and the gentleman in the store was losing his mind.
So this is the next day. Morgan flew out on Friday. We flew home on Saturday. And Melissa wanted a water. And so I said, I'll go get you a water. And if you've ever been in an airport gift shop, they're tight quarters. And there was an elderly woman pushing an elderly man in a wheelchair. And she was trying to check out. And this dude was like upset that this guy in the wheelchair was in his way. And so he's just making a big fuss about it and I'm like, hey, so the older gentleman in the wheelchair is trying to wheel himself out of the way, move out of the way. And I'm like, man, sir, you're fine. He can wait 30 seconds for your wife to come push you out of the way. That man's fine. He's just impatient. He's fine. So then another cash register opened up, and the guy's like, well, I want to get over there, but I can't get by him. I'm like, you're going to be just fine, dude. You've been rude the whole time here. You're going to be just fine. These people are not in your way. Take a chill pill and calm down. So what's he do? He throws all of his cigar stuff all over the ground like a big tantrum right there in the middle thing. So when he walked by, I pointed at Melissa and I said, that's the guy. That guy right there. He is rude to elderly people.
That's not what he said. I don't want you to think that's what he said. He did say, that's the guy. That's the guy. I was kind of hoping he could turn around.
That guy just kept walking.
So I could just be like, hey, how you doing? Do you know Jesus? I have to tell you something. It's the first time I've ever been in an airport. When the person that's at the gate, who's getting ready to check you in, right? Okay. You know, you go to the gate, you line up. If you're Southwest, you line up like cattle. And so
6 feet apart until they tell you not to be 6 feet apart.
Then you're like as close as they come. Anyway, all's well. It's all good. But the lady, like, you know, she gets on the speaker to like begin the process of boarding the plane, right? A1 through 30 can now line up. But before she gets started, she's like, before I get started today on the boarding the plane, I want to go over a few things. Number 1,
be kind.
Be kind.
Number 2.
Number 2, be kind.
Number 3,
be kind.
Number 4,
be kind. And she got to number 5, and I thought, seriously, if this woman says this again, what in the world? And she's like, be nice. Yes. I'm going to go over the rules again. And I'm like,
and she did.
And she did. And I'm going, oh my goodness. And if you are not kind,
we will escort you out of the airport.
I'm thinking like seriously, like we have digressed that much as a society that a gate agent has to get on, and here are the rules. Be kind. Number 2, be kind. I'm like, where? I mean, at least 50% in this airport are grown adults. We can't figure out how to be kind.
Well,
come on.
It's like Megan said, it's sad that we have to say be kind and be nice. And the more signs and the more things that are out there.
Oh, I think it just makes it worse.
Yeah, we're just doing the complete opposite of it.
I think it just makes it worse.
And for years, I would not say much. I've always been kind of the guy, like, I'm a mind my own business. I've traveled a lot. I'm a mind my own business. But anymore, I'm like, you know what? You're being rude. And he wasn't being rude to me. He was being rude to that other gentleman and his wife. And I thought,
who were just trying to get around an airport.
All his wife was trying to do was buy a bottle of water and a pack of gum. That's all she was trying to do. What else was she supposed to do at that moment? She's their husband's caretaker. You know, he's sitting there, you know, had bags in his lap. I mean, it's a crazy time trying to get to an airport anymore. And I thought, you know, I could either just sit here and watch this and be frustrated, shake my head, or I could actually say something like, hey, you're fine. So I'm like, you know what? I think I had my Southern Illinois Worship Center mask on.
I did too, so I was trying to be really nice.
You're fine, dude. You're just totally fine. Well, everybody else behind the whole thing watching it was like, yeah, you're right. He's fine. Everybody was watching it. And what I think is happening in our society is we're afraid to stand up for what we think is right. So much because of the blowback that we get. And so people just continue to be rude, they be unkind, they say some of the dumbest things on social media, and now that they're no longer on social media, they are now out in public and doing the same exact things. And I think the world has just digressed so much into that. We just are selfish and we don't care.
Well, and I think, and we've talked about this before on a serious note, this pandemic has exasperated that. Mm-hmm. Again, it's magnified that. People have been at home by themselves. They haven't been around people. We watched 2 young guys, and when I say young, they were 16, 17, 18 years old, in a
old
store.
Enough to know better.
Took off bikes off of the wall, took the bikes off the wall, and was riding them around a tiny store in the mall, bumping into people, bumping into shoe displays, practically taking out a wall of socks, and got upset when they were asked to put the bikes back. Old enough to know better that that's not proper behavior in a store. And I mean, we can sit there and blame that on the pandemic all you want to, but the fact of the matter is it's like we've lost all common sense and all critical thinking. Like, critical thinking is I probably better not take the bike off the wall. Number one, I could hit somebody. I could hurt myself. I can hurt myself taking the bike off the wall. And then they got upset when they were asked to put the bikes back. They went and got the scooters and started riding
electric scooters
and started riding those around the store, running into things, knocking things over. And I'm looking at these kids thinking, what in the world ever gave you the idea that was acceptable and okay to do in a store in the mall? Like, and I mean this with all the love and kindness in my heart. We were there with our 20-year-old daughter. And when I dug my nails into my daughter's shoulder and said, no, we're not doing that, we're walking away, I was very thankful that my daughter listened. I mean, we can take that for granted, but that's a gift. Our daughter listened. She was respectful to me going, you're not doing that. You're not going to ruin your life. You could have gotten in a fight. I mean, all this stuff. But she listened. She's respectful. And I'm thankful that in that moment, I was able to be there as a parent, to be a figure of authority in her life, to say, hey, that's not a good decision. And I just look around, and a lot of kids don't have, a lot of kids don't have, I said, oh my, because our daughter came out and was doing a funny dance.
Yeah.
She's still doing her funny dance. A lot of kids don't have that, it seems. So yeah, people have lost their minds, and it's really sad. It's scary. Anyway, it's.
Well, Tracy said about.
They don't have a mean mom like me. I feel you, Shannon. Fist bump.
Yeah, this is true. When there are no consequences, then it's free for all.
Yeah.
I've watched this happen at the Walgreens where Ethan works.
See, whatever makes you think it's
appropriate.
appropriate.
I've watched that. So, like when I got up there, the one day that this woman just lost her mind at the pharmacy at the local Walgreens. And here's the thing. Like, we're trying to be careful. Like, we want to protect these people. But if they're foolish enough to do this stuff, then I think they're foolish enough to get called out on it. To be a Karen or a Ken, as Zoe would tell me. They're being a Ken or a Karen.
And I feel sorry for every woman that is sweet and kind that has the name Karen, and every sweet and kind man that has the name Ken. Bless their hearts.
But she was losing her mind because she was told, that they weren't going to text her anymore about the prescription, and she was angry that she got a text message about the prescription, but yet she showed up to get her prescription because of the text message. But she was upset about it, and she went on for 20 minutes about this. So when I get up there, the woman's apologizing to me about how long it was. And I said, ma'am, look, there's a lot of things in life to get upset about.
Absolutely. This
really?
ain't one of them.
And this ain't one of them. Okay, I just witnessed what happened. I'm not upset with you. Thank you for working. You're providing a service to me. I appreciate it. And it's no problem on my behalf. She goes, wow, you're unusual. I'm like, really? I'm unusual to the fact that you're providing a service. There are many things that are outside of your control. People aren't showing up to work. You're working. You're doing the job of 6 and 7 people. I'm not going to get upset about it. Even this way in restaurants, I'm just not going to get upset about it, because these people, if I want people to work and serve me, then maybe I should position myself to be, I'm going to use the word servable.
That's good. Are you servable?
Put my life in a position where people desire to serve us. And we do this with our waitresses wherever we go. We take care of them. So when we walk in, they want to serve us.
I started to say they look at it as a joy and a pleasure. And listen, that goes far beyond. Let me be clear here. Yes, a server wants a good tip. But a server wants a table that's respectful of them, that is mindful of them, that they're doing the best they can. and all that. A server wants pleasant, you know, I mean, it's amazing to me how many times I've been in a restaurant lately and I hear another table talk to the server as if that server is just
a piece of trash.
A piece of trash. Like, I mean, just like there's no regard for them at all. And I don't know. It just really, I don't know. It just, that's what we just need to. We need to be very intentional as children of God, representatives of Jesus Christ. We need to be super intentional. My husband, we'll be walking someplace and I'll be like, "Hi, how are you doing?" I mean, I have a mask on, but I'm like, "Hi, how are you doing?" And it's amazing how many people don't even know how to look you in the eye. Like they just, you know, they don't even know what to do with that. And one lady, I was like, "Hello." And she was like, "Hi." And I was like, "It's okay to say hello. It's okay. It's okay. I'm smiling. It's okay. I don't want anything from you. I'm not out to, you know, to take anything from you. I'm just trying to be nice." Marlo's trying to be nice right now. Oh, so my goodness. Bless the name of the Lord. Okay. How y'all doing?
One of our favorite restaurants in Heron is El Jalisco.
Yes.
And we go in there. We know all the guys that take care of us and do that. And they're really busy. And they know where we sit. And so I just grab my silverware and I grab the menus and I go seat myself. That way the people behind me or whatever, the people get upset and they're frustrated with these guys, I'm going to help. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to be different to those men because, number one, I represent Christ. Number two, I represent myself. Then three, I represent my family. Four, I represent the church that I pastor. And I want that to have a good name. And I don't want anybody to find out that, you know, hey, Pastor Jason was rude to us. He didn't tip us. He was mean to us or whatever it may be. I'm going to live my life to the level that I expect other people to live their lives to.
Yep.
And I'm not going to come down, you know, like Nehemiah was building the wall. And Sanballat and Tobiah, which were thorns in his side, constantly wanted to get him down off the wall to discuss other people. That was the discussion point, was other people.
Come on.
Are these people qualified? Are the right names here? Are these the people that we want to be here to help build the wall? And Nehemiah's response was, I'm not going to come down off of building the wall and waste my time discussing these trivial things with you. If you want to help us build, then help us build. But we're going to be up here and we're going to build this wall and we're not going to be distracted or come down off of our wall and then stop building the life that we intend to build for our families and for our friends. Yes. If you don't want to participate in that, that's your business. But this is what we're going to do. And this is where I think the kingdom has got to do this, is we cannot go down to that level necessarily.
Yes.
Trust me, the south side of the kingdom wants to come out many times. But then it's like, hey, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to play this game with all, you know, and come down and start treating people beneath what they need to be treated.
I think it was Travis put something up, and I did put it up, but he said, Muhammad Ali said, if you're rude to the waitress, we can't be friends because you'd treat me the same if I was in that position. Yep. And how true are those words? It's just amazing how there was somebody else that said, I take people, it was a billionaire or something, and he's like, I take people out to eat and I watch how they treat the staff. And he said, and that determines whether or not I'll do business with them. And I thought, man, that is key. And that goes for the hostess. Be nice to the hostess. They're doing the best they can. I watched a hostess yesterday get yelled at, all because she set a table early. I mean, our server lost his mind. And, you know, I thought, oh my goodness, like what is wrong? And yet the hostess at Frenchie's, my mom is having some trouble with her leg. And she can't walk as fast as she would like to walk. And she's going to have a surgery. But until then, she can't walk as fast as she'd like to walk. And so when I get to the restaurant, I was like, you know, we have 6 in our party. she's like, is everybody here? And I'm like, no. And she goes, I can't seat you. And I said, I'm so sorry. I said, my mom, it takes her a little bit to get here. And she said, okay. She's like, tell you what. She said, I'll put you on the waiting list for outside seating. And she said, because I've got plenty of indoor seating right now. And she said, so when your mom gets here, just tell me, I'll take your name off the outside waiting list, and I'll seat you indoors. Because she said, we don't have call ahead seating. You couldn't do reservations or anything like that. She goes, that's the way I can help you. And immediately when my mom got there, we were seated. And, I mean, be nice to everyone. Listen, it's amazing what a little bit of kindness and a little bit of generosity. And generosity is not just money, guys. Generosity is giving of yourself, giving of compliments, giving of just you. I read something this last week, and it's going to lead me, Marlo's just going crazy. It's going to lead me into talking about today, because the fruit that we were able to eat today was amazing, and in the spiritual sense. I was reading about the fruit of the Spirit, and the fruit is meant to be eaten. We often talk about how as Christians we're supposed to produce it. We're supposed to have the fruit of the Spirit in our lives. But we think that it's just for us. And fruit is meant to be eaten. So when people walk up to you, they should be able to have an apple of joy. They should be able to eat, an orange of meekness. You should be producing fruit in your life. It's meant to be eaten. And I think that we need to be intentional about producing fruit that is ripe, that is whole, that is healthy, that is good, so that people can eat of our fruit and in turn desire to produce that same fruit in their life. I want it to be where they go, wow, what's different about you? Not, wow, you're like everybody else on this airplane. I think that is just key. And I'm very thankful. I'm leading into today because I'm thankful. As we come out of the Thanksgiving holiday, I'm thankful for what happened in our house today. We were able to eat of some fruit that was just absolutely amazing. The Word of God was amazing today. And I'll start with the 9:00 service. Jeff, Josh, and Andrea tore it up today.
Jeff Jones, Josh Billingsley, who's on.
Yep, and Andrea Bradley.
Andrea.
If you were at the 9:00 service, go ahead and put that in the comments. I was at the 9, or I watched online at the 9. And if you did, what was your favorite? What was your takeaway? Did you enjoy it? We've had a lot of people say they thoroughly enjoyed today, the 9 different speakers throughout the day. At the 11:00, we were able to eat of some amazing fruit from Aaron, Travis, who's on tonight, Travis Lipe, and Helen. And that was amazing. And Holy Spirit moved in a totally different way at the end of the service, at the 11:00 service, than he did at the 9 or the 1. And then at the 1:00 service, we were able to eat of the fruit that Harold McGee and Christina's on tonight, and Chris, who's also on tonight. I thought today was amazing.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
In every single way. I loved how it was different. Can I just tell you, church, those of you who weren't speaking today, I'm talking to the ones in the audience. I know. The ones in the audience and the ones watching online. Can I tell you that I couldn't see what was happening online, but in-house, just the
we talked about
response.
I was just saying,
amazing.
At dinner tonight, with a bunch of us on staff went out to eat, and we were talking about what that showed on the maturity level of the church and how the people responded, which really, truly is exactly what we were just talking about there, in being kind and considerate to somebody who is serving you. That response back and forth and helping those people preach. I think Helen said it. The only requirement for you to be fed by God is for you to be thirsty. And that when you respond like that, it feeds the soul of the person who is delivering the word, and it's showing your hunger in you, then God just starts depositing into that person, giving them bread to feed you because you're hungry. That shows maturity of the body of Christ, that we're going to sit here and we're going to support and we're going to be hungry and we're going to be thirsty for the word and for the voice of God, regardless of who it comes from.
Yep.
And I thought today, the 9 o'clock, the 11 o'clock, and the 1 o'clock, all 9 speakers, number one, it proved, because it was a very vague text message from me, that they pray, that they hear the voice of God, that God is speaking, and that God can take 9 different people who did not know what each other were going to speak and interweave a phenomenal message to his people through that. And I think that was just probably there were some big, big things that were said today, throughout the day. You got all of you that spoke, that are listening to me. I took a lot of notes. I wrote myself a lot of notes and typed a lot of things to myself to go back and think about and feast on that. That's when you know the seed is taking root, is when people are like, yeah, I remember that, and I'm gonna write that down, and I'm gonna think about that a long time. That's good preaching.
Amen. There's a lot of people commenting. I was at the 9 a.m. service. I was at the 11. Loved all the speakers. Amber said, I watched the 9. She liked the burnt steak analogy. That
was Josh Billings.
We were present for the 11. Wow, seriously awesome. And she really wants to go back and watch the 1 p.m. And Renee asked, is the 1 p.m. posted? And it is. That's what I was checking. So the other the 2 services, one has Christina and Tim. The next one has Christina and Tim. And then this one has this welcome video.
That's the 1 o'clock.
So that's the 1 o'clock. But it is the live service. It is Harold and Christina and Chris. And so it was a great day. Pastor Christina gave a little bit of the testimony of God's grace and goodness to her this year and how he's walked with her. Harold had some mic drop moments about the Oasis, and Chris flat tore it up to round it all out about perspective. Yeah. And so it was amazing. I really do think that if you can this week, I don't know if you normally do this or not, but it's actually, this week would be a fun week to do it, is to go back and watch all the services that you weren't able to attend, that you didn't attend. Because I think you'll find that it just really,
it would
be a unique week.
There's a lot of stuff in there, in every one of those messages today, that were powerful.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I think Chris Futrell, who was sitting next to me at 1 o'clock, sent me a text about Harold, and he's like, he just put 6 messages into one like that. And that's the other thing I love to compliment. I think many of you, if you've been around me a long time, hear this. I watch people who desire to be used, and I watch how they handle other people when they're being used. And I mean, or let me maybe use a different word, I watch how they respond to other people when they're serving. And I thought it was a tell today of the other speakers who stuck around or supported other speakers. And there's reasons why other people couldn't do that. But it was amazing to me, the camaraderie amongst them. And some of them, we were introducing them to each other in the green room.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even know each other. And we were introducing them to each other. Even though they were going to preach in the same service, they had never met each other. I think that was a phenomenal thing that happened, where that camaraderie is built and people are respectful of one another. That was huge. I thought that was just a magnificent thing. And again, that speaks to just great maturity on people. Oh,
I think it just speaks of, guys, can I just tell you this? There was a song that we used to sing when I was growing up, and I'm gonna give you the lyrics, but then I'm gonna just say something. It says, I just feel like something good is about to happen. I just feel like something good is on its way. And
yes, promise that it open all of heaven.
And I want to say that I don't feel like something good is about to happen.
It is.
Something good is happening. And I love that people are stepping out in faith. They're desiring more of God. They're hungering. That song "Hunger" right now, because there's a hunger and a thirst. And Helen Ellis' message today was really about that. What do you want? Don't wait. And I just, something good is happening. Something good is here. And I just challenge you. I'm going to use an old Pentecostal cliche. Get under the spout where the glory comes out. And I mean, and what I mean by that is don't miss what's happening. Don't miss what's happening. Get involved in a community group. Or when they come back around, sign up for a D group. Join a freedom. I mean, that is what it's all about. And I'm telling you, God is He's doing something amazing. And folks, it keeps on getting better. And that's where we're at.
There's a concept.
God is moving. I agree.
There's a concept like people talk about church like it's the stock market, right? Well, we had a good service, and then next week's. No, the Bible says we can go from glory to glory and faith to faith.
Amen.
And so we don't have to constantly do this number. We can continue just to climb up from glory to glory, and from I put that one up.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry.
From faith to faith, we can continue to do that over and over again. And you and I were talking about this when we were in Alabama together. You said, I just love the ocean. I just love the ocean. And I said to you, but if you lived here, what is now your inspiration would just become mundane.
Yep.
And you'll no longer be inspired by the ocean because you see it all the time. And that is the trap of spirituality.
Come on.
You see it so much that it no longer inspires you. For me today was an opportunity to step back and not have to, wonder where a service was going to go and all those things that happen, but to sit back and allow something that I have loved my whole life become inspirational again, which is the church.
Amen.
And to see God's people just step up and step out. There's a lot of things that happen every week, but I see those people every day. I get to see 9 people. Some of them were really stretched today.
Yeah.
They were way out of their comfort zones, but you couldn't tell it.
No.
They were. I mean, I was just like, man, this is good. And as I said to Tim and Pastor Michael, everybody was prepared. They were well prepared. They were organized. They were professional. They had the spirit of excellence. Everything about it was just absolutely phenomenal. And I'm sitting back there like, this is good. And it began to be inspirational. Again, something that you just get used to it, and be careful that as we get into revival and people get healed and people are getting saved and people are being baptized, that it just doesn't become common.
Come on.
And how you know it's common is when God is moving and you'd rather walk out than join in. And that's when it becomes like, I've been around. People are getting baptized. We'll just use the time when people are getting baptized. We'll head to Bob Evans so we can beat the crowd. All of a sudden, the most wonderful miracle of all that's happening and transpiring right there, where lives are being changed, no longer moves you. I think you need to take a step back and get inspired again.
Amen. Tina said, get your seat at the table. That's in reference to Aaron's message today. Phenomenal message. Love the visual. Love that. That is awesome. And it's exactly right. Get your seat at the table. There's a place for you. I loved what he said. If you're watching online, there's a place for you at SIWC. He looked right at the camera.
Even if you want to stay online, there's still a place for you to serve.
Right. That's
I think,
right.
Tim and Christina talked about that in the pre-services.
Rebecca Gonzalez said, I was at the 9 a.m. Rebecca, I just want to know, did you hear any Spanish today at church? Jeff's analogies from coaching to cheerleader was good stuff. Chrissy says, I got my tickets for You Shine. I'm so glad you brought this up, Chrissy.
Well, I was going to bring it up. You need to do it.
You got to do it, man.
I think every service right now is got...
and we need people to serve.
Maybe 20% of capacity left. So if you don't have your tickets, you need to get them. If you want to serve, you can serve.
Yeah.
And if somehow you don't get a ticket and you need to get in, the best way to watch You Shine is to serve.
Yeah. Yeah, they can use more help on parking. We can use help at after party. Oh, did I say after party? Greeters. Yeah, helping with people out with the carriage rides, helping. Yeah, there's just lots of things that we're gonna need. Oh my goodness, I'm getting community groups together for that we can show or advertise or put out in January, so groups can start in February. Still needing leaders for that. Need D group leaders. Need men. Need ladies. There's Freedom Ministry kicking off again in February. So yes, yeah, so much is happening. Jesus warns us about, what does it say? Losing our first love. That is so true. That's so true. The book of Revelation. If you've not read about the churches in Revelation, that's so good. Let's see. Lana says she'll serve. Okay, Lana, I need to make sure that Adam doesn't need you. U-Shine is definitely going to blow Zeke's mind.
I was going to ask this. How many of you have never been to U-Shine?
Renee, don't worry. I will plug you in somewhere. Here's my thing, guys. If you could email me at pastorm@siwcenter.org, pastorm@siwcenter.org, and if you have already got your tickets for a night, I need to know what night you got your tickets for, and if that's the night you want to serve, or do you want to serve on another night
and enjoy the program
the other night. If you serve one night and enjoy another night, please know the night you serve, you will not be able to go in possibly and get a seat. You will have to stay out in the lobby and all that good jazz. So if you could email me, pastorm@siwcenter.org, and let me know if you can serve. I sent out an email to the events team. I heard from a few people, but not a lot of people. So anyway.
I'm working on something, so if something goes crazy on the screen, she's going to keep talking.
Yeah, there we go. Scarlett was in the oven at the first U-Shine. Oh, that is hilarious, Miss Erica. I love that. That is awesome. Clint says, this will be our first U-Shine. Got our tickets and looking forward to it. I'm excited this year. We've got some special singers this year. It's going to be a different front line every night. We're not able to have our choir, but we've got a couple visual arts elements this year. It's just going to be really, really fun. I don't know. Pastor Evan has got this massive program planned for when we get in the new building. That something about drums. I don't even know what he's got planned, but it's something huge.
I read something tonight where, just picture this. Mary is exhausted from giving birth to Jesus, and she just gets him wrapped in the swaddling clothes and lays him in the manger, and he's going to be asleep. And a boy walks in and says, I think what you need right now is a drum solo.
Oh my goodness, yeah. They told me. Anyway, Tuesday night we'll talk about our favorite Christmas songs and how our Thanksgiving went and what was your favorite dish at Thanksgiving this year. I mean, we'll have all the holiday talk because, right, it'll be, the end of November. Yeah. We can talk about Christmas too. Will U-Shine be online? As of right now, no. However, we do know that some people might be in a quarantine or whatever else situation. So we're aware of that. We're trying to maybe come up with a solution, but we really would like for as many people to be in-house as can. I understand that not all can.
Pastor M, so Pastor in her first
Pastor
initial,
M.
at siwcenter.org is where you can reach her.
And somebody asked if the bookstore will be open. Yeah, because we're supposed to have U-Shine merch. So, yeah.
Merchandise. We haven't had merchandise in forever.
I know. I kind of feel overwhelmed with all the stuff that I have to get done in the next 2 weeks. So if y'all can just say a prayer for your girl. Yeah, in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. And if you can serve and just tell me where I could put you, if I could put you in after party, greeters, connections, help people, bookstore, you just let me know, or that would just be awesome. Y'all
you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything with the rides. You don't have to do anything with the carriage rides or the roller
merch.
coasters.
I can help with merch. Merch will be in the bookstore, Megan. So there you go.
So, yeah, here's this. Whoever put that up on the staff, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So many people working in so many areas.
Yes.
I'm trying to, there we go.
I don't know.
I am going to, for those of you who've never been, we made a video for last year that explained You Shine, and it showed you the genesis of You Shine over the years, and it kind of give you an idea of what's going to happen and the coolness of it, where it started,
it's
where
Harold.
it is now. Thank you, Harold.
Thank you, Harold. Great job today, Harold.
So as we go out tonight, that'll be the video that we'll play. Give me a moment. I got to import it from a different thing. But
I'm not sure if Mecca is or not. I'm working with all of the team leads this week, just firming things up with them and confirming. So, yeah, let me know if you can serve. I will handle connecting with team leads for you. So thankful for our team leads.
Yeah, great people. All of you, we had a wonderful day today. We love you. I think we'll be on Tuesday night, right?
Yes, we'll be on Tuesday night. Yeah.
Somebody will tell me what I'm supposed to do between now and then.
Yeah, no, we'll be on Tuesday night.
No. We love you all. Wonderful day today, and hopefully
your video works.
This will work.
Fingers crossed.
Well, it doesn't want to.
It doesn't want to work. Oh.
So my reasoning for starting You Shine is probably different than Melissa's. Melissa started it as a candlelight service. She just wanted to have, because she grew up having candlelight services.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. My candles were banned in my church because we had a haunted house one time in the basement of our church, and there were candles and Aquanet involved and people's hair. So candles were not allowed. And
my church didn't do that.
So we, when we got here, we had the first candlelight service. It wasn't called You Shine.
Yes.
We had the first candlelight service, and we had all these little votives kind of around the front of the stage. And Melissa, we had to hire musicians to come in.
Yep.
And Melissa sat on the stage with 2 musicians, and we did a candlelight service. So then the next year, I mean, it was like a Wednesday night service, wasn't it? It was just a normal, it was like one of our Wednesday night services. We just turned it in to it was a candlelight service. So that was the first one. The next one, we're like,
Tammy's like, yep, I remember it well.
I was like, I was long-term thinking. I'm like, I had watched a movie years and years ago with Chevy Chase in it called Funny Farm. And at the end of the scene of Funny Farm, he's trying to sell his house, and so he pays everybody in the community to turn into the community that he thought people would love and that he thought he was getting when he moved into this town. And that one night of everybody having that joy and that peace and the Christmas carols and all of those things changed his mind about where he lived.
Come on.
And I thought, if we can do that, if we can take one night and create such an amazing experience that people experience the type of community they want, the presence that they want to feel, everything that goes on, it just may change their heart about where they're living. And that was where the dream of and the vision of You Shine began, was to bring the dreams of people into our local church and give them an opportunity to hear the message, to hear great music, a little bit of a show, all those things that went into it, and bring Christmas back to life.